What is the midpoint theorem in two-column proofs? Imagine you're trying to solve a puzzle about triangles and lines. You want to prove that a certain line is parallel or that two segments are equal. The midpoint theorem is a handy tool for these kinds of problems. It helps you connect the dots between midpoints, segments, and parallel lines in a clear, logical way. When you use two-column proofs, you organize your steps neatly. On the left, you write what you are claiming or what you observe. On the right, you write why that statement is true, like a reason or rule. This makes it easier to follow your reasoning and see how everything fits together. The midpoint theorem says that if you pick two points that are midpoints of two sides of a triangle, then the segment connecting those midpoints will be parallel to the third side. Plus, that segment will be exactly half the length of the third side. For example, if you have triangle ABC and D is the midpoint of side AB, and E is the midpoint of side AC, then the segment D will be parallel to side BC. Also, D will be half the length of BC. This is a powerful idea because it helps prove relationships about segments and angles in triangles. In a two-column proof, you start by stating that D and E are midpoints of sides AB and AC. The reason for that is the definition of a midpoint, which says a midpoint divides a segment into two equal parts. Next, you note that AD is congruent to DB and A is congruent to EC. These are also based on the definition of a midpoint. Then, you apply the midpoint theorem to conclude that segment D is parallel to side BC and that D equals half of BC. Each of these steps is justified with reasons like given, definition of midpoint, or midpoint theorem. Using this theorem in two-column proofs makes it easier to show that two segments are parallel or that they are proportional in length. It helps you build a solid argument step by step. When you organize your proof this way, it becomes clear how each statement depends on the previous ones. This method is especially useful in advanced geometric systems where understanding relationships between segments and angles is key. So, in simple terms, the midpoint theorem is a rule that helps you prove that connecting midpoints creates a segment parallel to the opposite side and half its length, making your geometric proofs more straightforward and organized.